We do begin with breaking news. A suspect who escaped from Metro Police as he was being booked into the jail overnight is now back in custody and probably cut up a little bit as well. News Channel 5's Matthew Torres live at the Metro Jail to explain. This guy was already a fugitive, right?
Yeah, he was wanted out of Indiana for warrants for armed robbery. His name is 24-year-old Joshua Harbert, who is now in Metro Jail. He was booked in just about an hour ago, facing a slew of charges and is being held on a $295,000 bond. Now, let me step aside here to give you a better understanding. He was in the process of being booked into jail when he managed to slip from his handcuffs right in this area, scaled over this fence, and as you can see, there are the barbed wires on top of it. He managed to get over that and then ran towards the train tracks down to the Cumberland River, where he was eventually spotted. So this was only a brief chase from Metro Police, but in doing so, an officer got hurt trying to stop Harbert. He was kicked in the face and the shoulder, went to the hospital, but it is going to be okay this morning. But like I said, he was spotted hiding by the river. It was there where officers, through the help of the National Fire Department, riding in a boat, saw him there hiding on a bank. He was eventually taken into custody with cuts to his face. That's why he went to the hospital. But you can imagine just the gravity as to what he was able to do. This is about 10 to 12 feet tall of a fence. Again, he is now back in Metro Jail this morning, or he was successfully booked into Metro Jail this morning, now charged with several, including assault, resisting arrest, and fugitive from justice. Reporting live from Metro Jail, Matthew Torres, News Channel 5.
All right, thank you very much, Matthew. National news now. In a rare address from the Oval Office last night, President Obama said the terrorist threat against the U.S. has now entered a new phase. That's his quote. Mark Albert explains what that means and now why the president is calling on Congress to get involved.
In just his third Oval Office address, President Obama warned the nation that ISIS, or ISIL, threatens us all.
The threat from terrorism is real, but we will overcome it. We will destroy ISIL and any other organization that tries to harm us.
The 13-and-a-half-minute speech came 4 days after the mass shooting in San Bernardino, California, killed 14 people, and less than a month after the Paris attacks.
As a father to 2 young daughters, who are the most precious part of my life, I know that we see ourselves with friends and co-workers at a holiday party like the one in San Bernardino. I know we see our kids in the faces of the young people killed in Paris.
The president called on Congress to ban people on the no-fly list from buying guns, restrict sales of assault rifles like the ones used in San Bernardino, and enact stronger screening for those entering the U.S. without a visa. Mr. Obama also wants Congress to give him explicit authorization to use force against ISIS. The president vowed not to get into another decade-long war on foreign soil and said the battle is not with any religion.
We cannot turn against one another by letting this fight be defined as a war between America and Islam. That, too, is what groups like ISIL want. Let's not forget that freedom is more powerful than fear.
The president said there's no evidence the San Bernardino attackers were directed by a terror group overseas. Mark Albert, CBS News, Washington.
Republican Speaker Paul Ryan criticized the president's speech as, quote, disappointing and that it had defended a failing policy. The speaker said the House would vote later this week on a bipartisan bill to update the visa waiver program to reduce the risk of extremists coming into the U.S. Well, 4 people, including a child, are without a home this morning in Nashville. A fire happened in Donaldson when the crews arrived just before 2 o'clock yesterday. Flames were already shooting out of the rooftop of the duplex on Allen Road. We're told that home received some smoke and water damage. A couple and their child are now staying with family. Another man who lives in that unit is being assisted by the Red Cross. No word yet on what sparked the fire, but we're told it began in the attic. The search is still on for a missing Columbia teen, Jessica Sparks, last seen leaving her home for school Friday morning, but she never made it to school. She was wearing a black Columbia Central Navy JROTC jacket and blue jeans. If you have any information, contact police. Hey, let's take a live look right now from one of our sky cams at Nissan Stadium. Finally, we have reason to celebrate on a Monday morning after a home game over the weekend because, yes, that 11 game home losing streak is over. The Titans beating the Jags yesterday in a thriller on the Cumberland. Probably Marcus Mariota's best game in a while, maybe all season. He's gotten national attention for an 87-yard run midway through the wild fourth quarter for a 42-39 win. And right there, that botched snap and then touchdown for the Titans really secured the win. Our first home win since October 2014. We've got more highlights coming up in sports in just a moment. All right, another big event going on downtown today. It's Nashville's annual menorah lighting taking place today at sundown. Hanukkah began at sundown yesterday. Mayor Megan Barry will be joining local rabbis for the lighting at the Public Square Park. It will be around sundownish at 4:30 this afternoon. They will have music. They will have a reading. It's the 12th year the menorah lighting with the mayor of Nashville has taken place. And the state will be lighting its menorah later this week. Governor Bill Haslam will host that annual event at the corner of Charlotte and 6th Avenue. Festivities take place on Wednesday at 4:45. The 8-day Jewish festival runs now until next Monday.